All right, there we go. We're live. Cody, check our levels for me, won't you? While we're live here, before we hit the open, are we good on our thing? Can everybody hear us at home? Hopefully. Can everybody hear us at home? Hopefully they can hear us at home. All right, let me go live on
check. Test 1 2.
Let me go live on Instagram or not. Never mind. We're not going to go live on Instagram. It's broken. Happy Horsepower Hump Day, everybody. Welcome to the show. A lot to talk about today, but before we get going, we got to play this open. Welcome to Horsepower Hump Day.
Live from the Lucas Oil Studios, it's Horsepower Hump Day because every NASCAR fan needs a push of the old bumper to get them over that hump.
Stop. Oh, my God.
Here's Kenny, Crash, Richie, and Cole. Let's get humping, boys.
So, yeah. What's that? Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Sorry, producer Cody's talking to me. What's going on? Just leave it open. Yeah, just leave it open, and we'll go with it. You know, we'll play with it. Dealing with some new technology is always fun, isn't it, Freak Nation? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Horsepower Hump Day. Kenny and Crash are on vacation. So once again, they're letting the kids run the asylum, I guess, the children.
That's right.
We have free run of the Lucas Oil Studios, which is great. I'm about to raid their fridge after the show. They have some beers cracked in their fridge there, plenty. Might as well just crack into those after the show. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, 5 o'clock Eastern time. If you're joining us on the East Coast, 2 o'clock here in Arizona. Welcome to the show, everybody. Richie Suave Flores, that's Cole Cusimano right there. Cole, you're sitting in Crash's seat.
I know, I feel empowered right now. This is great. Have some elevation here. It's, giving me some height, which is always a good thing. So I'm ready to bring it.
You know what the best part about that is that you and Crash are very similar in height. So I didn't have to change the camera at all.
See?
It was great. So it makes it a lot easier. I had to go and finagle my camera over here because I'm standing. Kenny and I are about the same height, but I got to give myself more headroom. I think because I have a hat on, maybe. And I'm worried about my bald spot showing up, so I got to continue to wear the hat.
Go Suns. And Knicks.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that too much. Anyway, here's what's coming up on the show, everybody. The Josh Berry story is still a hot topic. Congratulations, Josh Berry, first career win. Ridiculous odds. We're going to get to that coming up. And we're going to try and predict the next first-time winner in the NASCAR Cup Series. Because I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of it this year. I think we're going to get some more upsets later this year. And we're going to try and predict that coming up in the show. NASCAR TV ratings are up over 3 million on FS1 on Sunday for the Las Vegas race. So we're going to get to that, kind of try and figure out why that may be the case. And if they are going to be able to continue that trajectory for the rest of the season. Daniel Suarez is also going to join the show. He talked to Kenny and Crash out at Phoenix Raceway. So we're going to replay that back for you in case you missed it. Great conversation. We asked him about the option tires there at Phoenix, and he disagreed with Christopher Bell. He liked the idea of bringing some difference into the sport. We also asked him about Mexico City and racing there for the first time in his career, which is really cool. It's coming up later this summer. And I think most importantly, maybe a little bit of breaking news in the Freak Nation. Sergio Perez, is he going to make his NASCAR debut in Mexico City? Find out from Daniel Suarez. So that's coming up in just a little bit. Plus, we're going to break down some of our favorite paint schemes of all time because Denny Hamlin has his new paint scheme out, his new sponsor out. So we want to get to that. And then we're going to wrap things up talking about Homestead and previewing what's going on there. So, Cole, the Josh Berry, he was plus 10,000 to win in Las Vegas. Did you guys mention him at all on Money Stop last week?
We did not. We did not. But maybe we should have, because as Cody, our producer here, pointed out, he finished top 10 at Vegas last year. And if you think about Vegas, it's a very Penske track, profiles for those cars and that team very well. So definitely overlooked by us over at the Money Stop. But man, what a freaking victory for those who bet Josh Berry. Plus 10,000. That is just sickening. I would imagine that's one of the biggest payouts we've had since sports gambling was instated for NASCAR.
Yeah. Since it became legal for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's more not as legal in more places. We were looking this up before the show, and the biggest long shot that I looked up that I found was Cole Custer. Do you guys remember Cole Custer winning a race in the NASCAR Cup Series?
I do.
Do you remember?
I remember.
You remember
it,
it, Cody?
But-
Cody doesn't remember it either. This is great because bring your mic down, dude, so we can bring you in on the
So-
show once in a while here.
I remember this race vividly because my brother was a very rabid Jimmy Johnson fan, Steven.
Right.
My
Yeah.
co-host on the Money Stop.
Mhm.
Jimmy Johnson had a great car in this race. He was like leading on a late restart.
Yeah.
And he wrecked. He got wrecked. I think it was by Cole Custer, and he ended up winning the race. So Steven was very, very upset for this one. So it's kind of ingrained in my brain. So that's the only reason I remember him winning this race.
That's wild. I do not remember this race at all. I couldn't tell you that Cole. If you would have asked me, I do not remember a single thing about this. Maybe because it was Kentucky Speedway in 2021, and I completely misremembered it. But this is the cool thing. So I'm going to read this article here from the Action Network. Custer closed as a 500-1 long shot at PointsBet. This was at the Quaker State 400 in 2021. PointsBet took a $90 bet on the rookie right before the race. But here's the great thing about this. The bettor would have earned $45,000 if he would have stayed with the bet. But he didn't believe in it. He cashed out. So get this, Freak Nation. This bettor who put money on Cole Custer 500-1 cashed out his bet early midway through the race and only netted $120. And that was it.
Oh, man. That one just hurts me. It felt like one in my soul. If that happened to me, I would never bet again on sports. Plain and simple.
Oh yeah.
No shot.
But yeah, that's my thing too, is like I don't bet that often, but I hate betting underdogs because you're throwing away money. That's why I don't like betting like horse racing, like Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown. Like I'll do it once in a while just because like you can put $5 and whatever, and you may win some money and it's kind of fun and you can whatever, and $5 is $5. But like trying to bet on these long shots, no, because you're just throwing away money. Even if it's $1, there's no chance in hell I'm ever going to bet somebody who is 100-1.
Well, I mean,
like Josh Berry was.
I would only advocate that for like a Daytona or a Talladega, because you look at the 500 this year, Jimmy Johnson, he was plus 10,000 to win the race. He finished third in that thing. So like for a track like Daytona or Talladega where anybody can win, it's definitely more acceptable. But I would not have picked Josh Berry to win it at Las Vegas or Cole Custer to win at freaking Kentucky Speedway. That's no way.
Yeah, we were talking about prior to the show, we were talking about some of the other bigger upsets. And the first one that came to mind for me was Michael McDowell in Daytona 500 several years ago. And there he was only 66-1. Which I say only 66-1, but like that's the one that I think of. Are there any others in terms of big NASCAR upsets that come to mind off the top of your head for you?
I think the biggest one for me would be Harrison Burton at Daytona last year. But the McDowell one that you bring up is really surprising to me with those odds, especially because he's developed a reputation even prior to that win as a really respected and a really skilled super speedway racer. So to hear 65-1 odds for 500 with him is just pretty mind-blowing. But I would say Harrison Burton, only because obviously to that point, the last Wood Brothers win was Ryan Blaney back in 2017. So again, it's a super speedway, so the odds are probably still more in the bettor's favors no matter what. But I go with Harrison Burton.
Harrison Burton 70-1 last year to win that race. So Josh Berry beat him out in terms of being a longer shot that ended up getting the win. I did tease that we wanted to try and predict who the next first time winner was going to be. So let's put on our thinking cap, shall we? Let's play Nostradamus, right?
Yeah.
And some of the names that pop to you, who do you think in the NASCAR Cup Series is the guy that's going to get their first career win before the end of the season?
I had this almost instantaneously when we were throwing around the idea of talking about this. Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
Ryan Preece finished third at Las Vegas, and that speed has not been an anomaly this season because look what he's done. He finished 15th at Phoenix with over 30 laps led. He had laps led at Daytona and Coda before not placing very well there, but the speed's been evident. RFK has had speed clearly with Chris Buescher and the 60 team in Ryan Preece. Brad's not been the best results-wise, but still a really competent organization. And you look at where the schedule is heading to next after Homestead, Martinsville, short track. That's a track where he won the pole in Stewart Haas. He led a bunch of laps in stage 1 before getting shuffled back due to a speeding penalty. So he's known for short track racing. I think that Ryan Preece would be my pick to break through for his first Cup Series win.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That's he's been in contention before, and it wouldn't surprise me. RFK organization has kind of been like up and down, right? Like they're not in contention as much as they used to be. So the Ford's been good to start this season though. So I think that's a great pick. I think my pick, and I'm going to say this if only because it is one of those that I really want to say is Connor Zilic, but I don't think he has any Cup Series starts scheduled for the rest of the year. Coda was just a one-off. So that may be my pick for next year to get his first career win. But man, do I really want to see Carson Hocevar get his first career win.
It's possible.
At some
Very
point.
possible.
I don't know like when that's going to come. He struggled at Las Vegas, obviously. But those Spire cars, man, they at least like have been able to qualify really well. They have that influx of money now because of their new ownership with the same group that is now going to have a Formula One team, basically, right? That ownership group. So I think it might come from the Spire group. So I wonder. I think that's my pick. Yeah, we'll go with Hocevar, Zane Smith too, right?
Zane Smith, I think him and Todd Gilliland are so close to breaking through with that first win too. Front row, despite their inconsistencies this year as far as finishes, I feel like we mentioned this on the money stuff. Actually, one of them's good for a top 10 pretty much every single week. So the speed's there; it's just a matter of putting it all together. And all three of them are very talented drivers: Noah, Zane, and Todd. So that's another really good group to pick between. But Spire, man, agreed. They've looked great this year. They've had speed in practice and qualifying. And Hocevar's been a contender for a top 10 pretty much every single week. Yeah. So that would be one that I think
Hocevar
records, right?
Hocevar. If you've been on the internet this week, you'll get that joke. I actually didn't realize that until I saw the tweets about this, that all the winners this year be last names.
Yeah.
Did you realize that on Sunday?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did.
I didn't, which was like, so I thought that was actually absolutely hilarious. I did not realize that until I think it was NASCAR on Fox tweeted that out. I was like, oh, okay, good. So we're going to be betting Kyle Busch this weekend.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. It's funny. They actually, so Fox had like their fun facts or stats they put up mid-race. And I think it was like at Daytona or Atlanta, they put up their mid-race stat, and it was like the top 6 drivers last names all start with letter B. So it's like it's been a thing all season, and also doing like the money stop and making these outlines. Like there's so many drivers with the last name B, so it's not that crazy. Right. But when you consider that Josh Berry won, it kind of makes it a fun little thing to throw out there.
Right. So we were joking. So Carson Hocevar, again, Kosovar, as we call him here in the Freak Nation, quickly becoming one of our favorites on the show. He tweeted out in reply to, I believe it was Bob Pockras or something, and he changed his name to Carson Hocevar, but a B in front of his name. So, hey, maybe that might bring him luck at Homestead. Real quick, I do want to go to the comments. Shout out Big Glenn, who's watching us, I believe, from the parking lot of an Indiana Pacers game right now. Shout out to Big Glenn. But he mentioned Derek Cope at the Daytona 500 in 1990. That's a big one.
Ooh, Paul Menard, Brickyard.
Yep.
Hey.
Paul Menard winning at the Brickyard.
Shout out.
That's a good one, too. If you guys have any more, Freak Nation, any big upsets, the biggest upsets in NASCAR history, drop them in the comments here on YouTube. Take a look, and we'll mention them as the show goes along. All right, let's move on. Speaking of, we were just again continuing this, Las Vegas theme. 3 million people on Fox Sports 1 tuned in to watch this race. This is the highest rated race on cable since 2021. Right? NASCAR ratings in general have been up, right? Phoenix was a little bit up. Daytona was a little bit down because of the rain, et cetera, et cetera. But so far, ratings are doing really well this year. And so we want to try and play, I'm trying to think of the right word, but like try and figure out why this is happening. Like dissect it. Like we're in high school and we're like dissecting a frog. Which I never did, by the way. I don't know if you did that, but did you do that in high school or no?
I did do that.
You did?
Yeah. It was bizarre. Really?
Yeah. Cody says he's jealous.
No need to be jealous.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Well, in that case,
Yeah.
be the envy. Yeah, I'll be the envy of you. So as to why ratings are up, I think that the parity is a big thing, man. This year has been so unpredictable. Although we've seen Christopher Bell win 3 races in a row and William Byron win in the 500 for a second straight year, it's not really like anything new, I guess. But I think there's been so many different players in these races, and they've been so unpredictable in terms of strategy and these also pretty crazy wrecks that that's been the big thing for me is the parity. And I think there's been also just a lot more exposure for the drivers this year, I would say, too. I've noticed them getting out more, doing more promos and stuff like that. So I'm sure that helps when you're getting your face out there to new audiences potentially.
That's exactly what I was going to say. NASCAR implemented this brand new driver incentive program this year as a way to promote the sport better. So the way this works is all these drivers have, and like NASCAR has created basically an app that they can use, and they go and they log every appearance that they make. And for every like 15-minute appearance that they do, they get a point. And these points accumulate across the season. And if I saw in Sports Business Journal, NASCAR is trying to keep this under wraps. They don't really want to talk about it all that often, which is kind of strange. But Sports Business Journal, allegedly there's $2 million at stake and more, right? So if they're doing it, I think they're doing it $1 million at the half season mark, and then another $1 million at the end of the season. And then it kind of goes down from there based on your top 5 or whatever. Wow. And seemingly this is paying off, because when we were out at Phoenix Raceway, we had more drivers that wanted to come on the show, more so than we have in the past when we've done shows in Phoenix Raceway. And that, I think, shows you that these drivers are all in on this. Hell, even Chase Elliott has been out and about. Like, you know how hard it is to get Chase Elliott out and about to go and promote the sport, the most popular driver. He was down in Mexico City hanging out with Daniel Suarez, who will join us here in a few minutes. Ryan Blaney was out there as well. And I think that this incentive program is maybe one of the biggest reasons why. It's because you're getting those drivers out there more. And even though it's a very subtle thing, it's like guerrilla marketing kind of. I can't think of anything else that has really changed between last season and this season that would constitute this rise in viewership at all.
First of all, I definitely agree with you. Like, just being out at the racetrack firsthand, seeing all these different driver appearances. First of all, when they were in Arizona, there were like, I think 10 different drivers out at spring training. Yeah. And then Cody and I went down to the merch haulers, and you had like superstars at the hauler signing autographs that you would not normally see. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, all these big name drivers. So I think that's a big part of it. And just to differentiate as well, I think another thing that could be helping NASCAR's case in terms of viewership and ratings and exposure, maybe the Prime deal, streaming practice and qualifying on Prime. I think you'll get a better sense once they actually transition to those races on that streaming service, if that is indeed a contributor. But I feel like that could definitely help. There's a lot of people streaming now, and Prime's a really big outlet, so that could be part of it.
That's actually an interesting point. Again, I want to correct myself, because on last week's show, I had a very spectacular Richie rant. Maybe was it last week or the week before? Anyway, I think it was last week, about how I was mad about there being 500 different places to watch NASCAR, all of which makes it harder to watch the sport. And I said that Amazon Prime costs $30 a month. And somebody on our TikTok account at Official SpeedFreaks, you can go follow us there, was like, this guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Amazon doesn't cost $30 a month. And that's true, because it does not cost that much. This is how out of touch I am. I just feel like an old man. It's like $15 a month or something. So I exaggerated a little bit, but my point still stands. And they did announce too, they're going to actually release the ratings for the Amazon races, which they don't usually do, because I believe like the sponsors and a lot of the teams need that data to be released publicly, so that way they can go and sell the sport, so they sell sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. But Kenny is watching us right now, or at least he was a few minutes ago.
On vacation,
dude. I thought,
take a break, bro. Come on.
He's the one that's like, I'd like to disconnect and get away and shut off my phone, and I'm not on social media. Meanwhile, Kenny's on the damn YouTube watching us two jokers.
Come on, man.
Go ride the Incredicoaster coaster again,
And
bro.
you forgot William. William wants to have some fun, wants to ride some coasters, eat some freaking churros at Disneyland, and he's stuck here with Bluey
God, that's such a good bit.
in the cold.
I'm just picturing that because there are people on TikTok that do that, and they'll bring these little like dolls and characters around with them. There's a guy on TikTok who was doing that with Liam Lawson, and he had this like little Liam Lawson doll running around Australia. And we should do that. That's what we should do.
We should.
William Boring should come with us on every trip we take, and we do like the adventures of William Boring. He just goes to random places and does random stuff. We'll blow up on TikTok if we do that.
Oh, 1,000%.
We'll blow up on.
That was the purchase of the century, Cody. Great job. Great job.
And now William Boring is hanging out here. One of the B winners of the year, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see if this ratings increase continues to happen. I was talking to both of you guys before the show, and I was saying that just in general, the ratings for motorsports seem to be up this year more so than they have been in the past. Because like, go look at Formula One. Their season debut was Saturday night for me, 9 p.m. here in the West Coast, but it was midnight Eastern time when this season opener, and over 1 million people tuned in to watch that race at midnight Eastern time on the East Coast. 3 a.m. Eastern coming up this weekend for China. But again, those ratings were up from the previous season opener and from the previous race in Australia the year prior. IMSA's ratings are up, right? IMSA, they put out a press release after the 24 Hours Daytona. I was like, we saw like millions of views on their YouTube page. That's how they stream the race for free, like worldwide on YouTube, so people could watch it that way. So IMSA's rating, sports cars, up. Formula One is up. IndyCar had better ratings for their season opener than they did in years prior. They're in thermal this weekend. I'm excited for IndyCar to be back this week. Thankfully, after a 3-week break. But just in general, like motorsports seems to be becoming a more mainstream sport, like all of a sudden, right? You see more and more people walking around with Formula One merch. For like you can go buy McLaren merch and Red Bull merch at like Hollister, of all places, right?
So cool.
Chili's. Oh god, yeah. Cody just said he wants to buy McLaren merch to piss me off. Don't. You're not allowed in the Free Nation anymore if you come in here with the papaya. Okay? No more papaya. But anyway, like it's like becoming like a more like mainstream cultural thing, whether it be through Drive to Survive for Formula One or whatever. But again, I think we've talked about this before. Like a rising boat like lifts all tides, no, I got that backwards. Rising tide lifts all boats. Thank you. A rising tide lifts all boats. Jesus Christ. So anyway, yeah, motorsports in general. The better it does, like the better off they all will be as they try to attack NBA and NHL. Et cetera, et cetera. But any final thoughts on the ratings being up before we go to Daniel Suarez here?
I'm curious if part of it's because NFL is out of season now.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the NBA, the product has been abysmal, so that could be helping motorsports case. So I'm curious to see, like, once MLB gets back, once the NHL playoffs begin, if they can continue to hold court and have this upward trajectory. But it's great right now, and motorsports is winning, so we're happy. We like that. We like that a lot. All right, Cody, are you make sure you got that Daniel Suarez ready. I'll tell you when to play it. Don't think I can. I have to open the stream arrow. Oh no, you should be good. Yeah, you're good. I think you're all right. Yeah. If you don't have it ready, I got it ready over here. It's all right. We're good. All right. Well, just let me know if you got it ready, and I will tease it. I will tease it. You got it? You got it ready? Okay. Let me set this up. Okay. So Daniel Suarez joined Kenny and Crash from Phoenix Raceway. This interview is also up in totality on our YouTube page. You can go check it out if you miss it here on the show. But Daniel Suarez talked about being able to race in Mexico City for the first time. He's really looking forward to that. Kenny asked him directly, Daytona 500 or Mexico City? I think you'll be surprised by the answer. And is Sergio Perez going to show up in a stock car anytime soon? Daniel Suarez joins us now, Lucas Oil Studios.
Daniel Suarez back at the Freak Nation. Phoenix Raceway as we get set for a big race weekend. Let's get all the nuts and bolts out of the way. with this tire test coming up for Sunday, where you're going to have 2 sets of tires, where do you stand on running these 2 sets of tires as a driver?
I like it. I think, I mean, if it was up to me, I would be pushing Goodyear and NASCAR to do it more often, because it's a great opportunity to mix up the strategy a little bit more. We have done it a few times already in the past. It's not something new. Actually, my first All-Star race ever in 2017, we were already messing with it. We had a soft tire and a hard tire, and obviously last year in Richmond we did it, and I thought it was a tremendous success. The way that the strategy play out, the way that you were talking about who was on which tire, the strategy, it's just more excitement, and I think that just creates one more thing into the equation of the race, and I think it's gonna be fun. Obviously, Richmond is completely different racetrack than Phoenix, so we're gonna see how long it lasts. There is a little bit of concern that the tire is not gonna last very long, but we don't really know. We're only speculating. We're gonna find out this weekend.
It's a divisive topic between drivers, where some drivers thinks it's a gimmick, where drivers like yourself like the fact that it just adds another element to the strategy of a race.
I just think that every time that you make a change like this, like a tire, it creates opportunities. And when it creates opportunities, it creates a topic of conversation, and it creates more excitement. I just like that, If I was as a racing driver, I love it. And if I was a fan, I would love it even more, because it's something new to look forward to. So honestly, I'm just surprised we don't do it more often. I think this is a great opportunity for us to create more, just more passings and more excitement throughout the races. And I'm not saying that the races are not exciting; they are already very exciting. But I see other series that they have different compounds on tires, and I felt that just makes things more fun.
Daniel Suarez is talking about fun here in the Freak Nation, and I want to talk about some fun with you. Mexico City this year is going to be an amazing race, and you just did some promotion for them. I have to talk about these videos that we saw of you in the ring, lucha libre.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. For me, I take a lot of pride of everything that is related to my culture, to my country, and for the first time, I have had the opportunity to actually bring some of my amigos here, from competitors, to my home country, to show them a little bit of what it's all about. A little bit of the food, the lucha libre, the culture, and it was a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm enjoying this so much. This is gonna be an amazing year. I think that it's gonna be a year that I'm gonna remember for a very, very long time, and really looking forward to continue to enjoy this moment, because I think that the Mexico race is gonna be amazing the weekend, but everything that we're gonna do until that point is gonna be very special for me as well.
But hold on, let's go back to the ring. You body slammed Ryan Blaney.
Well, I didn't. I tried, but then I chicken out in the process. I thought I was gonna hurt myself or hurt him. I ended up hitting him anyway, but that wasn't planned. Let me tell you, I have a lot of respect for those guys. They make it look easy. Those lucha libre guys, wrestlers, they just do things that you think, man, I can do that, and then you jump in there and you look like an idiot. But it's fun. We had an amazing time.
I was today years old when I found out that you could do a handstand. Well done.
Well, I didn't know I can do it. I was just kind of like bouncing up and down, but yeah, it was good. It was fun. I think that Ryan, Chase, and Christopher, but we all enjoyed it, and we had some amazing tacos. I bet you that those were some of the best tacos these guys ever had, and that's just a little taste of Mexico.
Okay, what would you rather do, Daniel Suarez, in the Daytona 500 or the inaugural race in Mexico City in a Cup car?
The Mexico race. The Mexico race for me, the Mexico race is huge. Honestly, for me, the Mexico race is as big as a championship. Like it's a very big thing because I don't think anyone in the Cup Series can actually compare to this because think about it. Not from every driver in the Cup Series today, except myself, we go either to their home state, sometimes to their home city, or somewhere very close. For me, it's not like this. I haven't raced as a pro driver. I haven't raced in my home country for over 10 years. So it's a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal for me. The Daytona 500 obviously is huge, and it would be a dream. Championship the same. But the Mexico race is something personal. It's something personal that maybe for many people it would be just another race, but for me, it's huge.
I would think NASCAR would be on the phone with Checo right now saying, dude, come in and run a one-off in the Cup race or the Xfinity Series. Do you know anything more about that?
Yeah, you think that didn't happen? Of course it happened, but it's not that easy. And Checo, is a huge. Checo is an amazing racing driver, and he has done a lot of great things for Mexico and for Formula One. With that being said, his focus is not to be racing in different series right now. Right now, for Mexico, he is the driver in Mexico, right? Because he's been racing in Formula One and he's been doing all the different things. And for him to come to NASCAR, the reality is it's a big risk. It's a big risk because he has never raced these cars before. He doesn't have experience with these cars. He doesn't have experience with these drivers. We do. So the chances of him running the top 5, top 10 are very thin. And that's not good. But I just think that I would love to have him. I think that would be amazing. But it's not. It wouldn't be the best thing for him.
Is it a disappointment that Pato couldn't get clear to run this race?
It's kind of the same situation than Checo. It's similar, not as big because Checo is very big name in Mexico. Pato is as well, but Checo already he's been doing Formula One for 10 years, over 10 years. But it's the same thing. I had this conversation with Pato, and if you don't have time to prepare, and they're gonna just throw you in there, the chances are that you're gonna get your ass kicked because these guys will do it every weekend.
The pressure, I would imagine, for you would be overwhelming, rolling into your home freaking country, your home track, and to not just perform, but to win that race. When do you start to feel that pressure? As soon as you saw it on the schedule, it's like, oh shit, it's coming, man.
Yeah, it's definitely coming, and it's definitely going to have some pressure involved, but it's good pressure. Like I believe that life is everything about these kind of moments. Pressure. Sometimes I think like, what life will be without pressure? Like if you don't have pressure, you don't have purpose. You have to have some purpose, and you have to have some pressure, and that's what makes life so much exciting, so much excited. And I believe that I'm very lucky individual that I get to have a lot of pressure all the time, and I love that. You just have to use that to your advantage. Use that to push you forward instead of drag you back. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna prepare as good as I can for the Mexico race, pretty much like I do every weekend, maybe a little bit more. But I'm gonna do my best preparation. I'm gonna do my best on execution, and I'm gonna have fun. And if that's good enough to win the race, it will be a dream. And if that's good enough to finish top 5, that's good. That's good as well. So we just have to do our homework and go out there and have fun. It's gonna be regardless of what happened. It's gonna be a weekend that I will never forget.
Hola Daniel, soy Hambone Henley. Sabemos que eres un gran piloto de circuitos, pero tu primera victoria en la Copa de NASCAR la conseguiste en un óvalo. ¿Qué prefieres, circuitos o óvalos?
Yo prefiero, para mí es mucho más natural los circuitos porque eso crecí haciendo, pero los óvalos me encantan y me han gustado por muchos años y son muy difíciles y les tengo mucho respeto. Sin embargo, el día de hoy no puedo escoger uno o el otro. Me encantan los dos, son completamente diferentes estilos de carreras y ambos disfruto demasiado.
Cuando usted se convirtió en ciudadano estadounidense el año pasado, ¿cómo fue que el presidente de NASCAR, Steve Phelps, le diera el discurso de apertura a usted y a los 48 nuevos ciudadanos?
Para mí fue un gran honor poder convertirme en ciudadano americano. Ha sido un viaje muy largo. Poder estar en esta posición y poder decir que el día de hoy soy mexicano y también tengo pasaporte americano, y poder tener a mi amigo Steve ahí conmigo fue un gran honor. Fue una sorpresa también, eso no lo sabía, y un día que también voy a recordar por mucho tiempo.
There you go. That's Daniel Suarez in the Freak Nation, joining Kenny and Crash and Hambone Henley, as she is called now. Thank you, Antron Brown, for giving Henley that nickname. Henley showing up, asked some great questions, completely in Spanish. That was awesome.
Mad respect.
Speaks way better Spanish than I think all three of us here in the Freak Nation studios today combined. Anyway, so I think my biggest takeaway from that interview, Cole, was I was actually shocked that he would rather win in Mexico City than win the Daytona 500.
That stuck out to me as well. But at the same time, I'm not like overly surprised, only because that's where he's from. Obviously going to be a lot of emotions on the line there, a lot of fans out in full force supporting Daniel Suarez, Mexico City. So obviously Daytona 500 is the most prestigious race in NASCAR, but for someone like Daniel Suarez, who came from Mexico, was born and raised there, this is a very respected and big track out there. You know, I think this would be a big one for him.
I'm super excited for that race. I think it's going to be really, really cool. I think I think they were the Busch series at the time have raced at this track. I believe many years ago. So NASCAR is not new to this track, but I think it should be an interesting race. Much like COTA, it's a track that was built for Formula One. And again, I race Mexico City on the Formula One video game. And I like Mexico City. I think it's super fun. So having stock cars at those types of tracks is really cool. And I think it's going to be a great race. And I'm excited. I think Daniel Suarez, he's won in a road course before. He usually does generally pretty well on these things. So I think he might have a genuine shot to get a victory. He's a little bit on the hot seat at Trackhouse, right? I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yeah, I would say
100%.
so.
Yeah, I mean, he won last year in Atlanta, and that kind of saved his job. So he needs a win if he wants to even have a shot at keeping that seat over Connor Zilic. He's got to come up with a win, and winning Mexico City, that would be really sick. That would be a great moment for NASCAR to have the hometown kid, Mexican, win in Mexico City. Would be awesome. So,
do you think there's going to be more Daniel's amigos there than there is at a normal race, like Larson fans or I don't know?
Oh, it's going to be
all amigos.
It's going to be dude. It's going to be all amigos
because in Phoenix, the Daniel's Amigos event was loaded to the gills.
It was,
and I was really surprised by that. How many fans he had actually show up?
This is like his U.S. home race. He always calls it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, I mean, heck, even just like. If you go back and watch when Formula One was in Mexico City this past season, Pato O'Ward got to run in the McLaren, and the amount
papaya,
yes, the immense sound coming from the stands anytime Checo and Pato were on the track was insane. So he talked a little bit about it in that interview where all the other guys kind of have that hometown race for the most part, because they're racing in their home states, right? But now Daniel's going to get that in Mexico City. I think that's going to be great, and I'm excited to see that. I can't wait for that race. I'm glad that NASCAR is giving this opportunity to kind of go outside of their normal boundaries and try some new things. There's some reports that this week that 2026, 2027, Montreal might be back on the calendar, which I think is cool. So I feel like NASCAR is legit making an effort to go at Formula One directly here in a way, right? Because they're already racing COTA, right? They're going to Mexico City this year. They're talking about going to Montreal and racing that track, like all tracks that Formula One races on.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, we got to go head to head with them with stock cars. So whether that's an intentional plan or not, I don't know. But I love NASCAR expanding, going international. Every other sport's doing it. Major League Baseball was open up in Japan. And so I know I didn't watch any of those games, but like just seeing some of the videos and the fans there, they went nuts for Shohei Ohtani, and that was awesome. And that was really cool.
Pikachu was out there too. Around first pitch, that was badass.
I did
all about that.
I did see Pikachu was there. That was pretty funny. All right, let's move on. A couple more things before we wrap up the show. Denny Hamlin has a new sponsor. It looks like this if you're watching us on YouTube. There it is. That's Denny Hamlin's brand new progressive paint scheme. For 18 races this season, Denny had a massive hole in his sponsor schedule because FedEx left, which was kind of wild. Like was synonymous with FedEx at this point in time. And so Progressive is now coming in and taking over for those 18 races. Good for the sport to get these new sponsors in there and coming in for half the season. That's pretty great.
Big sponsor too. Like a recognizable name, big brand.
Exactly. So this is again talking about kind of how for some reason it seems like NASCAR is kind of coming back to the forefront. Getting those types of sponsors in like that is huge for the sport. So anyway, this got me thinking about, all right, now we're talking about paint schemes. Let's have a little bit of nostalgia. We had a little bit of it earlier. We were talking about some of the biggest upsets in NASCAR history. Well, let's go through it and talk about some of our favorite paint schemes of all time. So I have them pulled up here. I'm just going to go in order of how they're ordered here. So this is not in any particular order. Let's go with, I'm going to go with this one first. These aren't really going to show up well on the YouTube thing, but that's fine. You'll get the idea. My first pick is this Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 3 Wrangler scheme that he won in at Daytona in the Nationwide Series at the time. I have the diecast of this at home. It's legit one of my favorite ones. I didn't get the race to win version though. I should have gotten the race to win version, but I got the regular version. Obviously paying homage to his dad. Returning the number 3 car. Seeing a Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 3 car is always going to be iconic. Iconic scheme that his dad ran. Easily one of my favorites.
That's up there for me too.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's my first pick. There's going to be spoilers. There's going to be a lot of Dale Earnhardt Jr. here.
Oh yeah,
we're
Storklers.
Between Cole and I, a lot of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
2/3 of us are.
But to be fair, Dale Jr. has had a lot of like different paint schemes over the years and a lot of really good ones. So it's like it's warranted.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, damn it. I should have brought up, another one of my favorite is that I didn't bring up. I completely just thought it was being Dale. Do you remember the Gossamer car that he ran?
The Gossamer car.
Nationwide.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yep.
That's top notch too, man. That's what we need to bring back. Bring back the Looney Tunes schemes because there were some of those Looney Tunes schemes.
Or the
SpongeBob.
GameStop
We
schemes.
need more movie schemes.
When the GameStop schemes had a different video game on the hood every week,
Yeah,
that was
pretty cool,
amazing.
too.
Yeah.
Like Super Mario's and then Donkey Kong, whatever was
Yeah.
on there.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, see, we're already diving deep to the ones. All right, let's go with this next one. Cody, this is one of yours.
The Hooter scheme is classic.
This is the number 9 black and orange Chase Elliott paint scheme. Cody, why did you pick this one? Any particular reason?
I have just always loved the paint scheme. I don't know. It's just always been around. You see it every couple of years float through the garage. And I think this was a Bristol race, if I'm not mistaken, that he ran the black and orange one.
Yeah, we're Harvick.
And it was a night race, correct?
Yeah,
It just looked beautiful under the lights. It was you could
black.
see it from the sky if you were up there. It was just beautiful.
That's actually one that won the Money Stop Silver Dollar Award, voted by fans for best paint scheme of the year. Back in, I think that was
silver dollars.
2021. I forget what year it was,
Yeah,
but
something like that.
it won the fan vote for best paint scheme of that year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't remember the year, but it's just my
good
favorite.
Yeah, Cody's just a big fan of Hooters. Goes there every week.
And Chase Elliott.
It's my
Big Chase
favorite.
Elliott
Why are
fan
we
too,
closing?
right?
Devin Booker's hating it too. Look, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Hooters is the spot. The
They're
fried
going
pickles are
bankrupt.
amazing.
The food there is phenomenal. Take
For
the
real.
girls out of the equation.
Take it to go, and the food is still
It's
great.
amazing. It's great.
Y'all are crazy, bro.
Want to go there after this?
It's not all about the owls, Richie. It's not about the owls. It's not
Y'all
about the Hooters.
y'all
It's
are-
about the fried pickles.
Y'all are crazy. Let's move on before we dive.
Just
too
deal
deep.
with it, okay?
All right, we have an IMSA paint scheme here. Cody, you got the T-Rex.
I don't know a damn thing about it. I just love it, and I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a big controversy on the Twitter about it, and it's just look at it. It's a dinosaur.
That's so
I mean,
cool.
you know me, green and dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I'm all
green and
about it,
dinosaurs
so
all up. Yeah,
I approve.
that's
big time.
100% you.
Oh yeah.
All right, next on the list is I can't really see what this one is, but this is another one of Cody's, right? This is the number.
Did you just say you don't know what this is? What's that jacket right behind you there?
No, I've seen the. I've seen the.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. It's just I couldn't tell what it was on my little screen here until I brought it up. But it's Days of Thunder. Was Dick Trickle, Cole Trickle?
That's Rowdy Burns.
Oh, sorry.
That is
yeah.
Rowdy Burns. No.
Michael
No.
Rooker, man.
No.
I haven't seen the movie in probably like I don't know, 5-6 years at least. So yeah, I'm gonna tell as we talked about on our motorsports movie draft. I like Talladega Nights is by far the better movie. But
It's a great comedy movie. It's not a better racing movie. I'll die on this hill.
Brad Pitt's Formula One movie is going to eclipse them all coming up later this year.
I hope that is good.
1000%.
Every trailer I see for it, I'm more and more excited about it.
That's gonna be great.
It's
As cheesy as
it's
I
awesome
feel like the
also.
story's going to be, it looks
the
good.
racing scenes are going to be sick. It's
looks
going to be
good.
it's-
Yeah.
like you didn't go see Top Gun Maverick for the freaking story.
Oh, no. I could care less.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see him ripping through the canyons, pulling some G's, baby.
hell yeah! Even though that entire there's my quick rant about Top Gun Maverick, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but that entire final scene where they're going through the thing and they have to like get the shot specifically, that's flipping Star Wars, bro.
It's amazing.
It's-
It's Star Wars.
They
It
just-
low-key is, yeah.
They just took the end of the original Star Wars movie. Like, cool. People are gonna not realize that this is the Star Wars movie and Luke Skywalker's like
Yeah,
miraculous shot.
It's been long enough time between so people.
But
get
anyway,
that, so.
I digress. Back to the paint schemes. This one here is another diecast that I own, the race to win version of. This is like a combination of two of my favorite things, which is comic books and NASCAR. And so it's the Dark Knight.
I forgot this was a car.
It's the Dark Knight
Amazing.
Rises Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint scheme.
Hell yeah.
He won at Michigan with that.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Snap that long ass streak.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I have the race win version of that. They
Yeah,
did.
same.
Do you remember, Cole, that they did like a contest to pick where you could pick?
Mhm.
There was like one of 3 different options, and they like let fans pick the one. That's the one they chose.
Yeah, definitely.
That was cool. I don't remember exactly
Mhm.
what the other options were, but that's top notch for me. All
That's
right,
a great paint
all right,
scheme.
Cole. We are going to say the best for last because we have all of yours lined up here.
All right, cool.
Um,
I got some stories too for.
Oh, let's
all these.
go.
Yeah, or at least one of them.
all right. Okay. This is the first one. This is the Darlington. This is the Darlington scheme.
So yes, kind of going off your Dark Knight paint scheme.
Mhm.
I'm a sucker for green. I've mentioned this numerous times.
Mhm.
This is basically Dale Jr.'s amp energy scheme with a different color palette. So
Yeah.
it's a really awesome silver in place of the green that he normally have on the amp car, with a nice like lime green stroke outlining it. Got the silver trim with the lime green line, but the lime green 88 just looks amazing.
It does pop.
And it's just again a great color palette, really like simple but effective scheme. I'm a very big subscriber to like less is more
Oh, yeah.
paint schemes, and you'll notice that with my next two that I have here as well.
All right, let's go. This is Cole's next pick. Spoiler: is it also a diecast that I own? This is another.
Iconic.
This is the Mountain Dew Black and Silver Car of Tomorrow.
That's
Oh, the COT.
that's my all-time favorite paint scheme. He did not fare very well in this race, but again, incredible color palette. You got the black, you got the silver, lime green, and I like that this also plays into the brand element as well. If you'll notice, like going along the headlights to the quarter panels and the rear of the car, it's kind of staggered like the Mountain Dew logo. But it looks so badass. It looks great under the lights. And a cool story for this one too is that he ran this again later in his career, I think in 2011, 2013 maybe, in New Hampshire. He got I think almost a top 10 day out of that. But back in 2010 or 2011, I believe it was, I cut school one day to go see a tire test at Phoenix with my brother Steven. And I had no idea he was bringing this car there. He actually used this car at the test. So I got to see it in person.
Yeah.
And I also brought my diecast of that car to the track, and I
Yeah.
met him and got it signed.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
Oh,
it was
wow.
an awesome, great experience to see that car on track in person at my home track and to get it signed by Dale.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. So, fun fact: Cole and I both have that car autographed because my version of this is also signed.
It's the best paint scheme of all time, in my opinion. I love that one
Snorkelers.
so much. It's so bad. Come on, Mountain Dew. Look at
Hey.
that thing.
It's a dope car.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
This is literally just the Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint scheme snorkel fest going on. Over
I had
here.
to throw in the only color in the group here.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. All this
But
is
you're
all
hating
black.
on Hooters, and you're over here Dale.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
Is there any?
Hell yeah,
I don't think we have. Oh, we have one over. There's a Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's cool.
The
Was that a mo-
number
I don't even
8,
know.
like I don't even
Can't
know.
even see half of it.
Got that one over there. It's got the best thing about, you can kind of see it in the shot here. But I love it. You can tell that it was like for like general audiences because it's got the Earnhardt Jr. instead of the Budweiser.
No bud. No bud.
Rated PG.
I love that about the old school video games.
Oh, it was
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, where it said like Brad or Dale.
Yeah, it says Brad
Harvick.
instead of
Actually,
Bush.
this is a great transition because
whatever.
another one of my picks is just that and I'm picking this because it was a little outside the thing, but like I always thought it was hilarious because I was a teenager when Mark Martin was writing this scheme, but it's the Mark Martin driver scheme. First
Oh,
of all, like I
man.
think it's cool. Like the black and the blue and the white look cool.
Yeah, in general, without
That's
the
a-
sponsor logo
yeah,
on there, it is a nice looking scheme.
Yeah.
It's a really nice one.
Yeah, and so that was the one that like in the video game, I think it just said like Penske or whoever. Like he was running for Penske at the time, right? And that's what it says. It's like Penske or Mark Martin or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
So another one of these. This is the Brad Keselowski white number 2 Miller Lite car.
Yeah, kind of playing off that theme with the beer sponsors. Again, less is more for me always. I love how simple but effective this car is. It's got that navy blue trim for the skirts with the red stroke up there. Again, just very simple, very effective. It's very Team Penske. We talked about this on the last show, the national show.
Mhm.
They're very, very uniform, very like clean. This is a very clean paint scheme.
Yes.
I know it's probably an unpopular opinion, but I love this car so much
Mhm.
that in, I believe it was 2016,
Mhm.
2016, I got a Ford Fusion, a white Ford Fusion,
Oh,
and I
remember
got
this.
it wrapped like Brad's paint scheme.
Mhm.
Just that the navy blue trim with the red stroke.
That's cool.
And I
I-
sent you a picture. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
it loaded
yep,
on there.
I have it pulled up so y'all
but-
can see on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, so I rocked that car for quite a while, and I love that paint scheme so much. In case you didn't
If
know.
I'm not mistaken, isn't that part of how we met? Didn't that bring that up to you at Toyota?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
I
I-
believe so.
I just kept seeing Brad rolling around.
Yep.
I didn't know he worked here.
Yep.
Where's he at?
Yep. I also got a shout out from him on Twitter.
Right on.
But this paint scheme ran from 2014 to 2019, so good 5-year run.
Mhm.
I wish that they never left the sport because that's a really awesome, iconic
Blue
scheme.
Deuce, man.
Yeah.
Blue Deuce. All right. So yeah, if you're still watching us, drop us your favorite paint schemes in the comments and give us other options besides Dale Earnhardt Jr. Because Cole and I can go on and on because there's a bunch of them out there, right? I remember I was actually showing you I have a couple of the Ride with Junior amp paint schemes
Yeah.
where like you were able to get your name on the car. So my name was on that car somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I have those. I have a couple of those. Those are great ones as well. We can keep going. I'm sure. Like there's so stinking many at this point in time.
Big paint scheme. Guy,
Junior's
so.
got so many good ones because it's built into his contract that he gets to design them, and he's not going to drive a terrible looking car.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it kind of makes sense that he's on the list a few times.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I'll accept it.
All right, let's wrap up the show. We have results from this past weekend from Vegas and Beat the Freaks. That's right. Every week on Twitter, you can enter to win yourself some General Tires. How do you do that? Keep an eye out at SpeedFreaks on Twitter. And when we put out our 3 picks, reply, make your 3 picks. And if you beat all four of us, Kenny Crash, Cole, and myself, you need to take home a set of General Tires. And we have the results from this weekend. And Cole, you can gloat all you want because Cole got the victory this week over our contestant. 109 points for Cole to our contestants 102. I did not finish dead last, thank God. I think I was dead last for 2 weeks in a row, so I'm not last this week. So Cole, you get to congratulations, Mr. Money Stop.
Yeah, I mean, This is the second time we've been doing Beat the Freaks that I've got the highest score. And look at that. It's only me and our guest picker that had triple digits this week.
Yep.
So I'll take the victory on that one. And it's just another good endorsement for the money stop right there, because clearly got some good intuition.
Yeah, you know what you're doing over there. You know what you're doing. You didn't pick Josh Berry.
Yeah,
You weren't smart enough to pick Josh Berry, but maybe this weekend at Homestead. You got any? Let's wrap up with that. Let's go to Homestead. Kyle Larson's going to be running all 3 series this weekend. Does that excite you at all?
Big time. So get this. If you were to combine his race winner odds for the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series, it's a plus 1,613 payout. So if you bet $10, 170 and change. That is 1,000% worth looking at. I think he's going to be
like a parlay type thing.
Yeah, if you parlay all 3 of those as race winners for Kyle Larson to sweep the weekend, you get 170 if you bet $10, which I think is worth looking at because he's so damn good there. And it's kind of funny, like looking at his race winner odds for the lower series, he is minus 115 for the Truck Series, minus 120 for the Xfinity Series. I have probably never seen a driver below even payout for race winner.
Minus odds. That's insane. Insane. I believe Kyle was asked about this. We don't have it ready to bring up on the show, but we can reference it. And he talked about how the only person to ever do this and sweep an entire weekend was Kyle Busch, right? At Bristol.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So, man, I don't know, man, because when was the last time Kyle raced a truck?
Wasn't it last year?
I think it was. It was fairly recently.
I know he did. I know he's done some Xfinity races. I know he's done a couple of those recently.
I think, didn't he win a truck race at like Coda or something?
I'm looking it up momentarily.
But yeah, anyway, I think that's cool. Like I'll get people to tune in a little bit.
It's good to consider that.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. And plus, like, it's not like something that's going to be like impossible.
Yeah.
Like he's so good there that it's almost likely.
Yeah.
He won at North Wilkesboro in 23.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But he has 3 wins total in the truck.
Oh, there you go.
2013, 2016, and 2023.
The more you know, the more you know. The more you know. So there you go. That was something to look out for this weekend. Do you got anything else? Tease the money stop coming up on Friday. Do you have any tune in to watch it, obviously, to get all the insight. But do you have any like little nuggets to throw at us?
I just finished the outline actually before I got here today. And there's some really good values in the field. I think the biggest thing was the Kyle Larson parlay to consider, but I'll save the rest of my thoughts for the money stop, which, by the way, I got to rock a sombrero or some sort of like Western gear for this show because Steven picked Daniel Suarez as his sleeper. I was very anti-Suarez this past weekend. I was like, there's no way he's getting the top 10. Finishes second in this freaking race. So the bet was that if he scored a top 10, I have to wear like a sombrero or something on the show. And yes, got that to look forward to.
Go to the sombrero shop. Yeah. Check it out. Money Stop drops every Friday on our SpeedFreaks YouTube channel at 7 a.m. Eastern if you feel like waking up super early. And then you can also check it out on your podcast feeds too. So go subscribe to the Money Stop there. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube. Homestead is, I think, I mentioned this before, but truly, I think one of the best tracks on the circuit. The last race there, the Tyler Reddick won, that finish was incredible. Really looking forward to this race. Curious to see how it's changed between the race that happened in the fall and this race and how that changes the racing. I think that's going to be interesting to see if it changes how the lines, we still have that double wide racing that Homestead is known for. So yeah, I think this race should be good. I love Homestead. I'm excited to watch it. As far as us here, make sure you are watching us every Sunday on YouTube at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. I believe Kenny and Crash are back with us this week. So the kids we can hand back the keys to the car that they let us drive and did not crash, thankfully, for this past week. Make sure you're following us on all of your social media at SpeedFreaks on Twitter, at official SpeedFreaks on Instagram and TikTok. People were angry about me about my Lewis Hamilton takes. They were coming at me. I feel like I make the TikTok people angry. They don't like it.
We
sometimes.
need that. They
they don't like what I got to say sometimes. But you know what? I speak the truth here on this show. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I think I mentioned everything that I need to mention. Right. Mondays on Map TV. You can check us out on Map TV Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. And if you missed any of the interviews, missed Daniel Suarez, if you missed this past weekend, Joey Logano, we have had Brad Sweet on recently. You can go check that out on our YouTube page as well. And with that said, Horsepower Hump Day every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back with you next week. Kenny and Crash will be back, I believe, from their vacation as well. So for Cole, for Cody behind the scenes here, our producer, I have been Richie Suave Flores. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody, on this Horsepower Hump Day. We will see you again on Sunday night. Until then, later.